All right, I'm here in Valdez, and I'm here with Stan Stevens. Stan, what do you do here in Valdez?
Well, we've been here in the tour business in Prince William Sound, running glacier wildlife trips for quite a number of years now. It's been about 32 years, I guess, that we've been doing this. So 33 years or something like that.
All right, well, Stan, you just told me about the similarities between the Gulf oil spill and the Valdez. Could you elaborate on those again?
Well, one of the problems that this same thing that caused, as far as I'm concerned, caused the spill here is the same thing that basically caused the spill in the Gulf of Mexico, and that's total lack of government oversight. Here we had a lot of promises, right-of-way agreements and promises, state and federal, promised we'd have all the oil spill recovery equipment we needed and that there'd be good oversight. And we became very complacent. There wasn't any oil spill recovery equipment. There was no oversight of, Exxon was running boats with very few people. They blamed it on Hazelwood, but the problem is it was just lack of human problem. Everyone was overworked, so that things didn't go right. Same thing happened with BP. The BP had promised that they could handle, a major spill at their offshore drill site, and they couldn't, and there was no government oversight. The problem is you got engineers that work for the government, work for the oil industry, that make about $250,000 a year. And the people that are supposed to do oversight, the engineers, get about $70,000 a year. And there's no comparison, and usually they're people that are not trained in the operation that's going on and know the engineering, the specifics of what they're overseeing. So all they can do is basically go along with whatever the BP engineers are telling them. Yeah.
Now, Alyeska, the pipeline is partly owned by BP, isn't it?
Pipeline, the operation of the North Slope and the pipeline is BP, and then there's ConocoPhillips and Exxon are the two other big items in there.
Now, there's been recent news. As a matter of fact, in the Observer, that there's been some poor maintenance, cutting back even on the pipeline here.
Well, I think they've been cutting back for years, and some of the problems that developed up on the North Slope, they just cut back on. They do only that which they have to do, and they don't do the maintenance sometimes that. If something really critical and has to be done, they fix it. But a lot of times they just wait until it breaks before they fix it.
So fact of the matter is, there is a possibility if there's not even oversight with this current pipeline, there could be a rupture.
Well, I think there's got to remember that with lack of oversight, you have Joint Pipeline Office and you have DEC, but if they find something wrong, it goes back to a higher up, and he takes a look at it, and either say forget it or BP. For instance, let me give you an example. We had a lady that really knew what she was doing up on the North Slope, and she complained and wrote BP up about corrosion problems, and BP went to the governor, and the governor went to DEC, and she was removed.
She was removed.
Yeah, and so the oil industry can do no wrong, and whenever people try to do their job, either the lobbyists in Congress or with the state will
intervene,
cause it not to happen. And I think there's, right now when something comes to a head like here at the Gulf of Mexico, the Congress will do all kinds of inquiries and that type of thing, but the minute it dies down, everything goes back to just to where it was. What they're trying to do is just pacify people that they're doing something, but they never really do anything. Nothing ever really gets accomplished. And if we don't get good, strong oversight, we're going to have some major accidents.
And
we've already had major accidents.
You already had? Could you?
You couldn't have one worse than what we had in the Gulf of Mexico.
Right. And that's why this committee was formed with Mark. What's the name of it again?
Well, the Regional Citizen Advisory Council was formed after the Exxon Valdez bill, OPA 90, basically said that there had to be a citizens group to oversee the terminal and the tankers and related oil issues. Here, it should have been, we should have one on the pipeline, we should have one on the North Slope. The value of a citizens group is, and there's weaknesses too, but the big value is they're not affected. Somebody from BP can't come and influence because he doesn't have any way to put the pressure on that can cause an influence to make any difference. We're all usually independent business people or others that are not where they just don't have the ability to influence us. So we're only advisors, but we can be very strong in our advice.
And that's probably what the Gulf Oil needs right now as the citizens.
They need better oversight. They're talking right now of better government oversight, but the minute this dies down, that all goes away.
And that's exactly what happened here in Valdez, didn't it?
Yeah.
Exxon trumpeted, and then when the music wasn't there anymore, there was no more help.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Glenn told me.
Yeah.
They came in and they paid a lot of money to certain people, and once it was pacified, they were out.
Well, the money was spent to pacify people, not to solve the problem. But there has been some good from it. Exxon right now probably has the best human factor safety record for their tankers of anybody. They've really learned a lesson and upgraded. I don't see you'll ever see that again. We have one of the safest systems on the water here right now for transportation of oil because we have all double hull tankers, and we also have we escort our vessels. We have 2 escort vessels. Nowhere else in the world do they do this. It should be done other places, but it's not. And it makes a difference. And whether we'll lose them or not as time goes on is a good question. But right now, for the movement of oil on the water, there's no safer port than ours.
Okay. Now, there's a lot of effects that a lot of people don't know about, and one of them I didn't even know about them is that, especially in Cordova, I read an article that a lot of locals, they had economic problems, and a lot of suicides were committed, and there was some.
The combination of things happened. Number one, fishing, the commercial fishing was basically just kind of closed down. A lot of the fishermen, in order to stay alive, went to work for the industry, trying to collect oil and oil recovery. A lot of people said, I'm not going to get involved with that. They've already ruined. I'm not going to get out there And so there were people that were making money and those who weren't. And there was, it's pretty hard for anybody for me to tell you how you feel. This is the most beautiful, pristine paradise country of anywhere. And when something like that happened to it, and the people that make their living, both fishing and like myself who use the water in the area, it's a real blow, and you never forget it. And some of these people, it was more than they could take.
More than they can take.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for educating us on the effects of something of this tragedy and what it can do.
Okay.